we're back in Wyoming. It's October 21st. Took a couple days off and back at it again, hoping to fill our last 2 tags. Me and Jason, since Dale tagged out, we're gonna hunt Thursday and Friday. Dale will join us on Saturday and try out a couple new areas that we found from e-scouting. This nice piece of state land go check out tonight. Saw some deer driving by here last week, so we'll go see what it looks like up on top. We had to walk down the river a little ways, but we found a spot we could barely navigate. Cross through here, all these willows. Pulled out the trekking poles. The rocks are super slick, but mark our spot on Onyx, so if we come back out in the dark with a heavy pack, we know where we can cross. Start heading up the mountain. Tree. America. Fellow hunter. Made it to the top. I'm gonna go sit up on this knob up here. Right there. So we can glass this whole ridge down here. See if something comes out tonight. Saw a lot of sign coming up that ridge, all different sorts of ages, so hopefully they're in here tonight. Well, we made it up on top of the ridge. There's a good sign around coming around the side. We get in the snow, there's not a whole lot of tracks, so that's a little discouraging. But I did spot a big herd of elk. I'm not sure. They're so far away, the camera probably won't pick them up. But on that far mountain over there, that spot right there, maybe you can see a whole bunch of different tan bodies. I'm guessing there's at least 50 of them over there. Pretty crazy that we're at 7,000 feet. It's only October 21st. There seems to be tons of elk down low in this unit. Central Wyoming. So, we're chilling here for a second. Hoping maybe something comes through this little valley. I might go stretch our legs again if we get too cold. We hiked all the way to the top of the ridge. I've been glassing around. Still haven't cut any fresh tracks, so guess they're just not in here for some reason. It looks like a perfect place for a buck to hang out, but all indications are they're not in here. Woo, look how deep that is. We made it. We made it. I'd never imagined it, but crossing that one off the list. That looks like a great area, but we didn't turn up one single deer track. Just one, I guess maybe two elk track, that was it. So, on to the next spot for tomorrow. Gonna go get some dinner and plan out our morning. See you tomorrow. Well, there are some deer over here, but the wrong species.
And gender.
All white-tailed does. Keep looking. Driving in this morning, we found the urban deer. He's checking to see if they're open yet. They're not open yet, Buck. And there's another one up there. Jason, you just need to hunt in the city, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
We're up and at 'em this morning. About a mile in already. Woke up super early, trying to get to some foothills about 2 miles deep. By about the time the sun comes up, met a couple cool guys on the trail. They're heading in the same direction, but a little bit deeper and more to the north. So we told each other where we were going, so we can all share the mountain together. Pretty cool. So we'll check back in here with you guys again after sunrise. Sun's coming up behind us. 7 minutes to shooting light. We're still probably 3/4 of a mile away from where we want to be, but time not too bad. Head to the foothills. We're gonna start heading up here. Hey Jason, where are all the deer at?
They're on private land where they're nice and cozy and tucked into their warm, snuggly beds.
Right there. Whole big herd of them. And we're all the way up here on the mountain. Well, hopefully we'll kick up an old nasty ruddy buck up in here. Keep heading up. Well, I made it a pretty good glassing spot sitting here. Let's see a whole bunch of country. Just hoping something pops up here in a little while. If not, I guess we'll just move further up the ridge. But I'll show you what we're looking at. The sun's just coming up behind our backs, which is perfect. Just keep glassing and glassing, hoping we can turn up a buck over here on this ridge. Jason spotted the first deer of the day. Just one doe by herself so far. We'll keep an eye on her. We moved farther up the ridge and glassed and looked for 3 more hours and nothing else has popped up. So we're gonna head out, try a new spot tonight, see what we can see. Driving around looking for deer, and I found just a couple turkeys out here in this field. Just a couple. I'm not sure I've ever seen that many turkeys in one flock before. That's pretty unreal. I'd say at least 50. And there's a whole other flock back over here. You hear them? Making all their yelps. That is an impressive flock of turkeys. Heading back in again this morning. Had the death march yesterday, drove around yesterday afternoon, tried to find a new spot. I think we did. We're going to try this one out here. See what it has to hold this morning. Stretch the legs back out again, like a couple miles. See what we see when the sun comes up.
What's up?
What are we doing now? What just happened?
We went to a place that looked like an episode of Elmer Fudd, and trucks and hunters and ATVs everywhere on a little 1 mile square plot of public land. We saw about 14 deer about a mile away, and they were getting the heck out of there as soon as light was coming up. They went up and over the hill to private. So now we are going somewhere else, hopefully where there's less roads.
Set up on a sniper perch tonight. Hopefully one will come out. Camera in your face.
Yeah, well, we finally found Jason a buck about 5 minutes ago in the dark on a private field, and he wasn't big enough to even be legal. But hey, we found him a buck.
Conclusion of the day.
We hunted really hard. We went to how many spots? 10 or 12 different spots. Glassed and glassed, hiked and hiked, and nada. Nothing but orange. Hunters and ATVs and trucks. The only group of deer that we did see was our first batch this morning, and there were 3 trucks in between us and the deer, so we didn't pursue, and they were almost on private. So one of those days of hunting. A lot of looking.
It's October 30th, 4 a.m. I worked the last 2 nights into the wee hours, updating a proposal for a $100 million construction project at work, and this Wyoming mule deer tag season ends on Halloween. I got a lot of activities planned with my girls, so woke up at 3 o'clock, got all my stuff packed, gonna run up for one last Hail Mary effort to southern Wyoming and see if I can't turn up a buck. So come along with me, let's see what we can find and what the day holds. We made it up here just a couple minutes after legal shooting light. I'm gonna go up this mountain here and get up on top and glass and see what we can see. Looks like there's one other hunter here. A pretty big area. So I'll check back in with you here in a little while. Made it up on top. Let's see pretty good from up here. Seems like there's a lot of sign on the hill, but I haven't picked up any deer just yet. There's lots and lots of country to look at, but a little discouraged I haven't picked up anything yet, not even a doe. So we'll keep looking. Hope something comes over the ridge, but it's a really big area. Probably not to be able to have picked up at least one deer yet. Really rocky back up in here, lots of cliffs. Well, back in the truck, saw a little buck and a doe on the way out. Just didn't feel like shooting a 2-point. Was hoping for finding a big buck on this trip. It was interesting. This unit really turned out to be difficult. We were hoping that we'd be able to hunt up in the national forest, and tried that at first, and really didn't see any tracks, and everyone we talked to said there wasn't deer there. And we happened upon the actual biologist for the unit we were in, who noted that he thought 90%, 99% of the deer all lived year-round between 5,000 and 6,000 feet, which was not my experience in the western part of the state of Wyoming. Last year I got a pretty nice buck at about 8,000 feet, and there were plenty of deer up there. So forced us into an lower elevation where it was like 99% private. Was not anticipating that at all. If I would have known that was the case, I certainly wouldn't have put in for this unit. So I've heard people suggest calling the local game and fish biologist to talk to them about a unit if you haven't hunted it before. That wasn't really necessarily on my radar. I thought it might be a good idea, but I assumed, like most areas of Wyoming and Colorado, that mule deer are definitely up in the higher elevations in national forest. But as it turns out, this specific area, that is not the case. So it would have been very important information to have received if that was the case, because then I would have looked at the rest of the areas at lower elevations and realized that there was almost no public land to hunt at all. So our experience was a little bit of public land there was overcrowded hunting. The deer were pressured, pushed onto private land. Most all the deer we saw were on private land. So kind of a tough lessons learned this year. If I happen to hunt a new unit again, I think I will take the time to make sure and call the area biologist and ask them if the area I'm looking at supports deer in that area, and if they see deer in that area, and not just go off of past experience, because for whatever strange reason, I do think it's very bizarre that deer would not be up at that elevation. They certainly could be, but in this unit they weren't. So I guess this is a wrap on the Wyoming mule deer hunt this year. Very happy that my cousin Dale was able to get one. Very nice 5-point buck. So didn't come home completely empty-handed, but moving on next week, taking the girls hunting out in Colorado. They have deer and elk tags for second season rifle. Hoping to see some good animals. We know we'll have lots of fun. That's the most important thing with youth hunters. Make sure we're having fun. And after that, we have a Colorado mule deer hunt in far western Colorado. So more hunts to come.